Jill.
And Trevor with Trevor and Jill Talk. We are so excited this evening because we're in Brooklyn, New York, and we're at the Brooklyn Heights Designer Showhouse.
It is magnificent.
Right?
And we're told that we look better in New York City. So,
Yes.
So we're hanging out here.
We have so much fun.
And we have a lot of great things to show you, some of the highlights. And what we're super excited about is that we're with Barsanti Desmone, which is a fantastic design firm. And they are going to show us some of the highlights, including their incredible master suite. And we are also going to meet with the people from Ressource, painters, and you will see paint finishes and
You want to cry. It's so
yeah.
beautiful.
You will be like looking at their sample book for
But this is important. This show house is open in Brooklyn until November
3rd.
Okay.
Get here.
Get here. It is worth it. Okay, so we're going to walk through and do a tour. We're going to introduce you to the fabulous Danny Barsanti. We're looking for him right now. There he is.
There he is.
Wait,
where's Krispy Kreme?
There he is. This is Danny.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Heights Showhouse.
He is principal of Barsanti
Desmone, partners with
right.
Chris Desmone, who is my stabilizing force and a great level of kindness. But why don't you come on into the show house? Did you look at the flower boxes?
Oh,
The
let's check out the
flower
box.
boxes are
Oh,
so
The flower boxes
stunning.
are
They are so
And
stunning.
come on in.
So the flower boxes were done probably 3 days before the show house opened. And the gentleman who does them, his name is Sergey. Anyway, he's the super kind guy. And the day he had his guys doing this, he was in there with them digging and doing, but he was standing down on the sidewalk with an old man who had a cane.
Oh my gosh.
And this man was looking at him do these flower boxes. And I got to meet Sergey at a party 2 or 3 nights later. I said, who was the guy? Sergey is the proprietor of Brooklyn Heights Gardens. He does a lot of the gardens here in Brooklyn Heights, and he does an amazing job, and his passion shows. He cares. I watched him pulling the roots. It's amazing.
Those are so
And they're beautiful.
They're so unique.
They're unique and they're beautiful.
To die.
This is the best show house I've ever done, based on the people who are behind it and the community that it resides in.
And
It's
you've
amazing.
done a lot of show
I've done
houses.
about
I mean,
18.
the biggest name show houses.
Crazy.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
what is it about this one? Show us.
What-
Tell us.
Just even walking in from the outside,
Yeah.
the architecture is so right. It's like the proportions are great. It's not trying to overly impress anybody.
Built in 18.
Erica, was built in 1820?
There's a lot of debate about when it was
Let's
built.
talk
There
about
are 3 different stories. None of them are conclusive. We happen to believe it's probably 1820s. Some people say 1780s.
But there's also the
They knew what they
story.
were doing.
It's the tale of 2 houses, correct?
Well, it was originally only 3 bays wide, and then the story is that one homeowner bought it, had like 5 daughters and needed more space to entertain the suitors because he wanted to marry them all off, and added the living room.
I love it. Well, you maintain the integrity of the home, right? And beautiful original floors.
So part of what makes the
Absolutely.
house so great is Erica's guidance, because she lends a sense of, she has tremendous empathy for designers because she is an architect. So she brings that into this space, which is very rare for a show house, to have somebody who's a co-chair who actually has an empathetic sensibility towards designers.
Also, I mean, I represent the Brooklyn Heights Association, and our mission is preservation of what's old, but keep it alive.
Yeah.
Make
And
it
That is
fresh.
the perfect way to
Fresh.
describe this
I
house.
love
That's
that.
what Brooklyn Heights aims to be, and that's what this show house is.
And it is
Actually, it really exudes that. And I think that's one of the toughest things to do, to pull off, to bring the new and to bring
Old
it together with the
together.
old and make it sing,
That's
right?
the best.
It is.
Show
I
us
think
some
this is
show.
how it is. Andiamo.
Some of that. You feel it in every room.
So tell us a little bit about this room. Where do we want to focus? First of all, the thing that jumps out to me right away is the wallpaper and the window treatment.
And there are 2 fabulous stories about this room. So the first is that when the designer Justin Scott found out he had the living room, he's like, finally. He has been in love with the sofa forever.
Well, that's what I was
And
gonna
he
say.
has tried to get clients to do it. And I was like,
gosh.
ooh, it's so 70s, no, we can't do it.
Maybe.
So when he found out he had a job, a living room with no client, he's like, I'm using it.
It's the most
Done.
flirtatious.
It is the
Also
most
sold
sofa.
like the second
and
night.
exactly, it's sold opening night.
That's
But
great.
you kind of need this right next to it.
Absolutely.
It just goes.
Yep.
You want to
Yep.
touch it.
Well, actually, you know what? That's the thing. This room is so tactile. There's so many different textures. These chairs are papier-mâché.
No.
Yes.
Can you sit on them?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But since we don't
can sit on them.
wow, you can sit on them. We don't know if everybody could, which is why the designer put books on.
What do you love?
I love the room because it has a very 70s vibe to it. And I think it's not that we want to replicate the 70s, but the 70s sort of represent a time when we were rebellious, but really pretty. Like everybody, there was a sexiness and a rebelliousness to it, and it actually moved our nation forward in a design manner, in a emotional way. And I think we're sort of, as a designer, we're trying to figure out how to do that again. So it's just not so institutional, and it's not so, and it gets a little scary, I think, for us as designers. Eric, you can speak to this as an architect, that with all the technology that exists today, how do we humanize it? How do we make it so that we still feel something? And to me, this resonates, I feel something.
Yeah.
So for you, with technology, how do you...
Everybody sees the same images.
Right.
And so I have clients who like, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. Can I have it? I'm like, no, you want something different. You want something that's for you. You want something that responds to
the
the
biggest
space.
challenge, I think, at times is when you have a client who is of the generation where they live on Instagram.
Yep.
To reach that younger audience
And
and
get
inform
them
them
excited.
and get them excited and get us excited. So it's sort of, right now the 70s seem to work.
Is Mylar wallpaper back? Because I can just
I
distinctly
kinda
remember
love that
choosing my
too.
Mylar.
We
don't have any in the house.
We'll bring it back.
We'll bring it back probably soon.
There's this sort of desire for nostalgia, right? We need that sort of sense of like that connects us with our past a little bit. And even if it's a little laugh, it's a little funny, it's a little something, but you feel that connection. It brings you.
It brings
to
you
that
there, and then you're lucky enough, nostalgia brings you to a happy place.
place.
But you don't want to be overly nostalgic because
Yes.
you don't want to look contrived, you don't
Right.
want to look... So I think this room really has that sensibility that Bob Newhart could walk in here and feel comfortable, but we could also feel comfortable as we are right now.